The Adventures of Prickly Porky. Chapter 21. Sammy Jay delivers his message. Sammy Jay has been the bearer of so many messages that no one knows better than he how to deliver one. He knows when to be polite, and no one can be more polite than he. First he went over to the home of Reddy and Granny Fox, and invited them to come over to the hill where Prickly Porky lives, and see the terrible creature which had frightened them so give Old Man Coyote a scare. Both Reddy and Granny promptly said they would do nothing of the kind, that probably Sammy was engaged in some kind of mischief, and that anyway they knew that there was no such creature without a head, legs, or tail, and though they had been fooled once, they didn't propose to be fooled again. "All right," replied Sammy Jay, quite as if it made no difference to him. "You admit that as smart as you are, you were fooled, and we thought you might like to see the same thing happen to Old Man Coyote." With this he flew on his way to the Green Meadows to look for Old Man Coyote, and as he flew he chuckled to himself. "They will be there," he muttered. "I know them well enough to know that nothing would keep them away. When there is a chance to see someone else frightened, especially Old Man Coyote, they'll try to keep out of sight, but they'll be there." Sammy found Old Man Coyote taking a sunbath. "Good morning, Mr. Coyote. I hope you are feeling well," Sammy said in his politest manner. Fairly, thank you," replied Old Man Coyote, all the time watching Sammy sharply out of the corner of his shrewd eyes. "What is the news in the Green Forest?" "There isn't any, that is, none to amount to anything," declared Sammy. "I never did see such a dull summer. Is there any news down here on the Green Meadows? I heard Danny Meadow Mouse has found his lost baby." "So I hear," replied old Mr. Coyote. "I tried to find it for him. You know, I believe in being neighborly." Sammy grinned, for as he said this, Old Man Coyote winked one eye ever so little, and Sammy knew very well that if he had found the lost baby, Danny Meadow Mouse would never have seen him again. "By the way," said Sammy in the most matter-of-fact tone, "as I was coming through the Green Forest, I saw Peter Rabbit over on the hill where Prickly Porky lives, and Peter seemed to be in some kind of trouble. He was so lame that he said he didn't dare to try to go home to the old briar patch for fear that he might meet someone looking for a rabbit dinner. And he knew that, feeling as he did, he wouldn't be able to save himself. Peter is going to come to a bad end some day if he doesn't watch out." "That depends on what you call a bad end," replied old Mr. Coyote with a sly grin. "It might be bad for Peter, and at the same time, very good for someone else." Sammy laughed right out. "Ha! That's one way of looking at it," said he. "Well, I should hate to have anything happen to Peter, because I have lots of fun quarreling with him, and should miss him dreadfully. I think I'll go up to the old orchard and see what's going on over there." Off flew Sammy in the direction of the old orchard. Once more he chuckled as he flew. He had seen old Mr. Coyote's ears pick up ever so little when he had mentioned that Peter Rabbit was over in the Green Forest, so lame that he didn't dare to go home. "Old Man Coyote will start for the Green Forest as soon as I am out of sight," thought Sammy, and that's just what Old Man Coyote did.